Hi, you guys. Get this thing started. Here we go. Hey, how's it going? Hope you guys are all well. Mr. Helfon here, introducing Act Two of A Raisin in the Sun. Hope you enjoyed Act One and hope you remember who's who. But just in case you don't, here's a quick refresher. This is the Younger family, led by Mama, of course, her two kids, Walter, who's older, and Benita, who's a little younger. And then you got Walter's wife, Ruth, and young son, Travis. And as we all know, things are about to get shaken up because the $10,000 check, which is actually a life insurance check because Mama's husband, their father, Walter Sr., passed away. And everybody seems to have a different idea of what to do with the money. Now, Walter, I wonder what people think of Walter. A lot of times we don't like Walter. He doesn't seem necessarily always nice to his wife. He can be a little manipulative, but he always seems to have the family's best interest at heart. He was first played by a favorite actor of mine, Sidney Poitier, and then later on, and this is the version I'd really suggest you find on YouTube, Danny Glover, and most recently, of course, Walter portrayed by P. Diddy. And we know that Walter thinks what the family should do with the money, all of the money, is to invest with a couple of his buddies in a liquor store. Now, on the one hand, people are always going to be drinking liquor. On the other hand, Mama sees it kind of like drug dealing. You're enabling people with a bad habit. But whatever you think, that's his idea for it. Keep in mind, couldn't do it by himself. Has to invest with two of his buddies. Okay. Um, then he got his sister Benitha. Now, Benitha is going to college right now. And maybe it's worth mentioning college back in the day wasn't very expensive. I know that's hard for us to get around, but my mom, for example, went to Brooklyn University and tuition $200 a year. But she also wants to go to medical school. Medical school, even back then, would have been more expensive. I think it's interesting that Benitha doesn't say, no, I want the money for this. But she's just like, hey, Mama can do whatever she wants with the money. Walter's thinking, oh, yeah, but the difference between asking and just accepting when the time comes is big and wide, isn't it? Um, and what is the deal with Benita having two boyfriends? We met one of them in Act One, Joseph Asagai, an African exchange student who seems very serious about their relationship. And we heard about boyfriend number two, George Murchison, who is apparently quite wealthy and quite full of himself. But we'll find him in Act Two. Um, and of course, Mama, played by Felicia Rashad and a whole bunch of other amazingly talented actresses. Mama didn't say, this is what I'm using the money for, but she hinted to Ruth that the idea that she likes the idea of buying a house somewhere where Travis can have a yard to play. Now, let's keep in mind that also means that, what? He will get a better education. The house is every time they make a payment on it, paying a mortgage instead of rent, they own that much more of the house. The hard part is having the down payment, and that's what they have. So that's what Mama was thinking about doing with it. And then we've got Ruth, Walter's wife. Um, she also seemed very excited about the idea of buying a house. She didn't really express anything else as far as things she wanted to do with the money. But we also know that Ruth is pregnant, and everybody's a little concerned about what you can do with. They have so little room, and those of you who have a baby in the house know that a baby takes up 90% of your house. So all of this kind of swimming around. Now, before we dig into Act Two, I want to mention how it begins. It begins with a very unusual scene. It's referred to as the Akomagosier scene. Now, Akomagosier, according to the Urban Dictionary, I'll tell you in a minute, but Akomagosier is a shout of triumph in battle. Akomagosier! It combines the Yoruban, Zulu, and Swahili languages, and according to the Urban Dictionary, it translates, yeah, I'm not really sure that's accurate, but sure, we'll go with that. It's an odd scene. It starts as drunken nonsense between brother and sister, Walter and Benitha, but it turns into this profound speech by Walter right before we meet boyfriend number two, George Murchison. So, with that, I leave you to read Act Two in the story. Be sure to listen to or watch the Akamagosier scene. Easy to find on YouTube or audiobook, but it might give you a better idea if you read it and you say, what was that? But enjoy Act Two, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Before I forget, assignment is to read Act Two. Again, if you had any trouble finding it, you really shouldn't. Go on Google and look up Raisin in the Sun full text. You'll find it everywhere. But really read it, and then go on to Schoology and do the assignment for Act Two of the play. Hope you guys are doing well, and I'll talk to you soon.